The first attack came without warning. A remote human colony on the edge of the Orion Arm went dark. No distress beacon, no survivors, only silence across the void. The Galactic Council dismissed it as a minor pirate incident, a regrettable but unimportant loss. To them, humanity was still new to the stars, an unpredictable, restless species that rose too fast from a small blue world. But the silence spread. One by one, outer colonies fell. Mining stations vanished. Settlements reduced to ash. The attackers left no sign of negotiation, no demand, only devastation. They were the Dravari, an old and arrogant species that believed conquest defined civilization. To them, humanity's colonies were ripe for harvest. Weak outposts spread too far from their homeworld. At first, the Council offered words of caution. They advised restraint, diplomacy, patience. Humanity listened. For a time. But patience has limits, and Earth had learned long ago what happened when others brought destruction to their door. The human representative, a man named Arden, stood before the Galactic Council as reports of the massacres arrived. Around him, hundreds of alien delegates watched, their eyes blinking in disbelief as the human envoy's expression darkened. His voice was steady, measured, but there was a quiet fury behind every word. 3 colonies, he said, hundreds of thousands dead, and you tell us to remain calm. The Council's speaker, a being of pale light and mist, replied with false calm. The Dravari claim you violated their border. These incidents are unfortunate misunderstandings. We will mediate. Arden's eyes turned cold. You'll mediate with ashes. Humanity will act. And with that, he walked out. For the first time in galactic history, a member species left the chamber in silence, not in defeat. But in warning, the Council watched him go, believing humanity's anger would fade. It did not. Instead, the Terran fleets disappeared from the known routes. Their signals went dark. Trade convoys rerouted, and human diplomats withdrew from every outpost. To most of the galaxy, it seemed as though Earth had gone quiet. But beneath that quiet, something was building. Earth's orbital shipyards glowed day and night. The industrial rings of Mars thundered with new production. The colonies that remained loyal sent ore, energy, and manpower to a cause that spread without words. Humanity remembered its history, not of peace but of survival. Every scar, every burned city, every forgotten war on their homeworld had forged something unyielding in them. The Dravari continued their expansion, capturing more human systems. They mocked humanity as weak, claiming they would enslave them as laborers. When their fleets reached the system of Vesta Prime, they found empty cities evacuated, stripped bare. For a moment they thought humanity had fled. They were wrong. The response began 3 months later. Dravari sensors detected dozens of unknown signals emerging from the dark between stars. No transponders, no communication, just silent movement. The first encounter came in orbit of a captured human mining moon. The Dravari garrison detected massive energy spikes before their scanners went blind. Moments later, streaks of light cut across the sky. Human ships, sleek, angular, black as night, descended from hyperspace without warning. They didn't broadcast codes or open channels. They simply attacked. The Dravari's defensive platforms were torn apart before they could respond. Precision strikes crippled their fleet in minutes. The human ships didn't linger. Once the last enemy signal went dark, they left as suddenly as they came. Across the border, similar reports surfaced. Outposts destroyed in seconds, planetary garrisons overwhelmed, orbital stations burned cleanly, their wreckage drifting silently. The Council convened emergency meetings, but by then it was too late. The humans were already moving deeper. The galaxy began to whisper about the beasts. That was what the Dravari called them now, creatures without mercy, whose ships appeared from nowhere and vanished like ghosts. The old races didn't understand that this was not humanity's first war. On Earth, the message was clear. Humanity had decided to fight, but not with the diplomacy of the Council or the arrogance of conquerors. They fought with precision, patience, and fury born from generations of struggle. Their fleets operated in packs, each led by silent admirals who coordinated across vast distances. They struck supply lines, isolated fleets, and dismantled enemy infrastructure with mechanical efficiency. Planets that once belonged to the Dravari went dark one after another. Then came the moment that silenced the Council. A Dravari war convoy, 30 heavy cruisers and 4 dreadnoughts, approached. A captured human world to reinforce it. As they entered orbit, they detected movement in the asteroid belt nearby. Thousands of metallic signatures emerged, forming into a vast formation. At first, the Dravari thought it was debris. Then the debris moved. Humanity had turned asteroids into war machines, mobile fortresses bristling with kinetic cannons and railguns. They opened fire, unleashing storms of tungsten slugs that shredded the convoy in minutes. When the surviving Dravari ships tried to flee, they were met by human interceptors rising from the planet below. Within an hour, the entire fleet was gone. When the Council demanded an explanation, the human ambassador's successor appeared on the hollow channel. Her voice was calm, her tone unshaken. You called them misunderstandings. We call them murders. You let them happen. Now you will watch as justice is done. The line cut off. No further communication came. Over the following months, the Dravari Empire began to collapse. Their fleets fell apart under relentless human strikes. Their colonies revolted. Their leadership turned on itself. By the time the Council tried to intervene, the humans had already crossed into the Dravari home sector. Satellites captured the moment the first human dreadnought entered the system. The ship was unlike anything the Council had seen, massive, silent, and black as obsidian. Its hull shimmered with strange energy fields that defied scanning. When it opened fire, entire continents vanished under beams of white heat. The Dravari capital burned for 3 days. Then it was gone. When the last transmission reached the Council, it carried no threats, no declarations, only a simple message from an unidentified human commander. We asked for peace. You ignored our pain. You told us to stay calm while they slaughtered our people. But humanity doesn't forget. You woke the beasts, and now you live with what you unleashed. After that, no one attacked another human colony again. Trade routes reopened slowly, cautiously. The Council attempted to re-establish contact, but Earth gave no reply. The humans had withdrawn beyond the stars, leaving behind only silence and stories of vengeance. Generations later, that silence became legend. Young species whispered of the Terrans who vanished into the void, whose fleets were seen only when the galaxy's balance tipped toward cruelty. Whenever a new warlord rose or an empire turned to conquest, rumors began again. Sightings of dark ships on the edge of known space, glimmers of impossible weapons, voices on ancient frequencies saying the same chilling words. You attacked our colonies. You awakened the beasts. No one doubted the meaning anymore. Humanity had learned peace, but not weakness. They could build wonders, heal worlds, and unite systems. But when provoked, they became something the galaxy could not comprehend. Because beneath their calm diplomacy, beneath their shining cities and words of progress, there remained the same species that had survived extinction after extinction, that had walked through fire and never bowed. In the halls of the Council, the mention of Earth carried both reverence and fear. The delegates spoke quietly, knowing that somewhere in the void, the children of humanity still watched. The galaxy had learned a truth it would never forget. There are empires that rule through power, and species that thrive through intellect, but humanity ruled through something older, deeper, unstoppable. Resolve. The beasts slept again, their claws hidden, their eyes closed, but everyone knew the silence was not peace. It was a warning.